Welcome to the Now This Is Podcasting Sports Casual universe. This is episode 001, and I wanted to make an announcement before we started that, given the changes that have happened.
Congratulations, dude. You're very brave.
You. Given what's happened, we are not going anywhere. Nothing will change. It'll still be the same great sports casual that you've come to love then, now, forever, together, always, until kingdom come. And starting out the show, I want to introduce two co-hosts here. We've got Shem, who is in his terrible Dolphins gear.
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to swear on Twitch?
We can do whatever we want to do.
Yes, Twitch is fine. YouTube is the one that has a problem with it. So we're going to have to beep. From what I understand, like the first,
Well, don't Joe, how about you just shut the fuck up?
We're going to have to beep the fuck.
Yeah.
You can't say
fuck that
too
guy.
early. Even Cornette's doing it. You can't say fuck too early in a video. They demonetize you. You have to wait 5 minutes to say fuck.
You can't be demonetized if you've never been monetized, baby.
Got him.
Okay, all right.
And also joining us is Sean.
First of all, I don't need no introduction. I'm the greatest of all time. I am the heart, the soul, and the most powerful mind. Let's go, baby. We got this.
I'm waiting for you to be like, I'm not recording. Wait, can we start over?
I can't even argue.
Don't worry. I think we're recording. If not, that'll be a later problem.
That is a later problem. All right, so
it's a problem for future Sean.
Yep.
We're starting out today. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, let's run that back. I was talking over you.
Yeah, you were disrespectful.
Fuck. Go. I'm sorry. I'm just amped up. We've got so much to talk about. We have Wrestlemania to talk about. We've got the burial of Cody Rhodes to talk about. We've got Mommy, the new champion of SmackDown. We've got we have a parent beating their child with a belt in a cereal sponsored match.
Yes.
Where do you want to start, Sean?
I want to start. I'm starting with the cereal part because it's nothing more Saturday morning than your dad, whooping your fucking ass in front of a bunch of people who adore you. Like, everybody cheers when your dad whoops your ass, right? That's what Cinnamon Toast Crunch really wanted us to know.
Wait, that match was sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yeah, when Don was getting his ass whooped by Ray, Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsored that shit because
that's so funny.
They support child abuse.
I had no idea. I saw the clip of Dom getting spanked by Ray, I think on Reddit earlier today, and the announcer was fucking going off. Michael Cole, is that what you said his name was?
Yeah.
He just goes off, like the video that I watched, like had his camera perspective, and he just stands up and he's like, "Yes, this is well deserved." I'm like, I know this kid is an adult, but goddamn, you're just into this, that's great.
The storyline, for those who don't know, the storyline has been Rey Mysterio, WWE Hall of Famer, has been in a feud with his son because his son
is a fucking prick
and got in with a bad girl who's turned Dominic against everything he's known. So the buildup has been Dominic yelling at
classic
his mom
bad girl shit,
Yeah, he's got black hair now.
We've all been there.
By the way, the most adorable couple. But the whole lead up to WrestleMania was Dominic yelling at his mom, telling his sister to shut up, and that's like the whole time Ray didn't want to fight his son. He kept trying to bait Ray into fighting him. He's like, I'm going to go out there and call my dad a deadbeat. I'm going to say these terrible things. Nothing. What was the final screw in the coffin? It was him telling his mother to shut up, and Rey Mysterio ran down and punched him in the face. It was like if a dad were to hit a kid kind of punch. He it wasn't a wrestling punch. It was an abusive punch, and people loved it.
Classic abuse. We all love a classic tale of abuse,
Yeah.
Wrestling has a hard time with that. They're like, who's the bad guy here? Well, clearly the kid is the bad one. The parent who's just corporal punishing their child, that's perfectly fine.
I used to work in California, so I don't know. I'm still a mandatory reporter, so do I have to call DCF? What?
You witnessed it. I feel like people are going to say, that was the biggest pop of the night.
It sadly was. It really was. Cinnamon Toast Crunch was plastered everywhere. On the ring side, the LED, anywhere there was LED lights, Cinnamon Toast Crunch was. So while this dad was beating the shit out of his son, they were like, remember, Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsors this.
Get your ass crying, eating a bowl of cereal in Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, that's hitting too close to home. Oh shit!
All right, so let's move on to probably. I mean, so the tale of two WrestleManias, right? Night one WrestleMania, I think for the most part, fan wise, delivered on everything people wanted. All the good guys that you wanted to have win, they won. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens in a great match against the Usos win.
I think you said it was your favorite match.
It's the best tag match I've ever seen of all time. It's the best match out of that WrestleMania. But that was the best tag match I've ever seen because the WWE.
It's not tag team match place most of the time.
It's not, and they also do a good job of protecting finishers and protecting strong moves. Usually when you see a finisher, you can tell it's a finisher because that's the move that ends the match. It's the finish of the match is the finisher. And that's usually what happens. But in this match, because it's this big thing, they take the rule book and they throw it out the window. You get two counts. You get finishers. They're not protected. All of that. Sean, what were your opinions on that match?
That match. Okay, all right. So first of all, I have to acknowledge that I was high out my fucking mind when I watched night one of WrestleMania. Night two, I was a little bit better, but night one, it was lovely. I fell asleep on Joe. Joe left the Discord where we were watching together. I had to watch it a little bit later by myself when I rewinded it. But I think that match was my second favorite match of night one.
All right, what's number one?
Mommy.
Oh, okay, fair. That was an incredible match. That German suplex she hits on Charlotte Flair where she lands on her face. A1 stuff.
That is a great fucking match. But no, this match, Sammy and fucking Kevin Owens getting back together, getting a redemption on the bloodline by winning this match, and even pinning Jay, it was a lot. It was like they poured a ton of time and energy into it, and they fucking waited. I'm scared that Vince McMahon is going to go back to you don't get to have these type of stories because he doesn't wait for payoffs. But, hey, what we got was great, and I was really proud of that match.
Night two.
Jim, did you watch this yet?
No, I haven't. The only bit of WrestleMania that I've seen is Rey Mysterio beating his son with a belt. That's
Biggest
all
pop
I've
of the
seen.
night.
And it was like a 20-second video. Like, not even 20 seconds. That's it.
Did you see Dom's entrance? Because it was pretty dope.
No.
Oh,
No,
dude,
nothing.
all right. Yeah, watch the entrances.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing was a tribute to Eddie Guerrero. It felt like he was there in mind, body, and soul. So Dom comes out, and there's sirens blaring, and all of a sudden they back up this like police van into the arena, and Dom gets out in handcuffs. A guy who spent 2 days in jail, 3 days in kayfabe, a night in kayfabe jail.
I was like a night in less than a night, maybe an hour in kayfabe jail.
So he comes out, and there's a bunch of security guards and cops that are escort him down to the.
Now, is he in handcuffs because he hit his mom?
No, he never hit his mom. Come on, cuz.
He told her to shut up.
He just told her to shut up. Then he got
Yeah.
he got the shit
Then he
kicked
got
out of him.
arrested?
He got arrested in kayfabe because him and Rhea Ripley trespassed it on a holiday. I want to say it was Christmas.
Yeah, it was Christmas because Thanksgiving was the initial. Thanksgiving, he crashes and there's a big fucking fight, but no one gets arrested. It's just a good time. And then Christmas, Dom gets arrested for trespassing.
So
Perfect.
Since then, he's been a gangster, and he got the little tattoo of the teardrop, like he killed somebody, and it's just a good time.
So they bring him out, and so this is there's no reason. This is just for a cool entrance effect that he comes out in this because he's not even kayfabe under arrest. He comes out and he's got actually a luchador mask on that looks incredible on him. He looked great. He's got this cool purple luchador mask. He comes out in the handcuffs. They undo the handcuffs. He walks out to the ring, and then Rey Mysterio makes his entrance, and he comes out in a lowrider with Snoop Dogg playing the Latino Heat song for Eddie Guerrero. And then he comes out. He does his little, "Hey everybody." Oh, am I saying something incorrect?
You missed that when him and Snoop Dogg first came out in the lowrider. This WrestleMania also was in the Los Angeles region. They started with nothing but a G thing because Snoop Dogg owns Death Row and is able to play that.
It's flexing. I didn't even realize that. I totally forgot about it because I was so holy shit, it's fucking Latino Heat. So then Latino Heat comes out, and then as Ray's going up this, and if you haven't seen the WrestleMania stage, it's almost like it puts every award show you've ever seen to shame. It's
I've seen a corner of the WrestleMania stage.
It's gigantic.
It is fucking huge.
And it was great. I was waiting for them to do a bump off the side of that stage because someone would have died. It was definitely someone could die. I mean, if you slipped and fell off that stage at the top, you would die.
Yeah.
So I was worried for Ray a little bit. I was like, the 1% chance he doesn't realize he's like near the edge. And I thought he was going to do it too, because he like does like that pump up thing where he pumps in the sky and then he like turns. I was like, oh my God, what if he like doesn't realize he's near the edge and he topples over? That was in my mind. But so, he does that and then the match happens. But let's move on to night two. Night two was everything that we didn't want to have happen. I can't even remember the other matches. None of them really matter at this point because the only thing that people are going to remember is the burial of Cody Rhodes.
All right, I want to give some credit to Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. They had a banger of a triple threat match for the Intercontinental belt. I was happy that both the Intercontinental and the United States belt made it on the show. But like you said, I got to go to Cody, Roman Reigns.
Well, do you want to talk about that? I forgot about that triple threat match. It was a great match.
It was a great match. It was big, meaty men slapping meats, beating the
We got to talk about the Neapolitan ice cream of white skin tone in the ring. So
it was 4 white people if you include the referee, right? Sheamus, I don't know if anybody listening to this knows what the fuck Sheamus looks like. But Sheamus is the whitest of whites. Like, Gunther is German and also very white. But he makes Gunther look like he has a like, Sheamus is so fucking white. But by the end of it, his fucking milky white chest was like beet red. It was correct. Like, this was a bunch of guys, like I said, big meaty meat slapping meat. Like, this is what this match was. And it was a banger. They went
incredible
in fucking like 20 minutes and they just meat. But it was a great time.
Tons of chops. Yeah, half the match was just chops to the chest, and none of them looked like they were having a good time. Like, everyone's like, this is the worst. Why did I sign up for this shit? Everyone's chest was beet red. Sheamus, who is, if you looked at everyone's skin tone, like if you saw, Gunther and I don't even remember the
Drew McIntyre.
Scots by Scots. Drew McIntyre, you'd be like, oh, Drew McIntyre, he's an island guy. He's got some pigment, no, he's not. He's just when you put him next to Sheamus, who looks like a ghost, white paint. He
does look like a ghost.
He's so white.
He must walk with an umbrella, right? He's like this. How do you avoid sun that much?
He has SP 4000 on. Like, I don't fucking know what he's doing, but he's doing great.
I had to turn the brightness down. I was sorry. I was like, I can't even see the goddamn screen. He's so fucking white. And then it's just crazy. Every white person had it was like a perfect gradient of white people. Like, it was like the evolution of man, but just like of whiteness, of skin tone.
Sheamus is like crawling on the ground and he's just like hunched over.
Gunther is let's talk about Gunther for a quick second, because we were talking about that during WrestleMania. That man is shaped like an old school timey wrestler.
He really is.
They pulled him out of a fucking frozen thing and they're like, here you go. He's like, he's not done evolving yet. You're like, well, he's got a match in 20.
Like, for a Gunther is, like you said, he has that 1950s body where I think he likes to wear his pants up to his belly button, so you don't know if he's like, he may be fucking fit, he may be fat. Like, no one knows, but his arms are so tiny compared to his like actual torso that it doesn't make sense. And you're like, are you lifting? Like, what are you doing? It's like somebody who went to the gym but smoking a cigarette. Like, I can see him doing that, but my God, that man chops everyone's chest 1,000 times a match. And I love it. Like I said, any match he's in is hard hitting. Is gonna be fun.
He's also got that.
I'm looking at Gunther right now.
Dude, he's so awkwardly shaped.
Oh,
like if that guy were like, oh yeah, that guy's the butcher down at the meat market, you'd be like, okay, yeah, all right.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, Gunther. Oh, meat guy Gunther. Okay, yeah, I know Gunther. My bad. How could I forget?
Hunched over like with a hatchet in all day. That could be him. It was a great match, though.
It was fantastic.
Look at this photo of this man.
Yeah, that's a creative character that I'm not done making yet.
You was making him in WWF SmackDown versus Raw, and your mom said you had to go to school, and he's like, fuck, and that's Gunther.
Then you got to delete the save file because he accidentally hit save, and then you just spent like an hour getting all the moves in. So that was a great match, underrated, and I'm sure we're forgetting. It's been days at this point. It's been at least 2 or 3 days, so all that memory is gone. Because the only thing I even forgot that great match just because of the burial of Cody Rhodes.
Yes,
he tried so hard.
I will say, Actually, I'll let you go first. I want because you know that I react a certain way, and I'm gonna.
Dude, Sean's reaction is great.
I'm
Sean,
gonna have that.
I'm talking about this now because, like, Sean, we were watching together, and all of a sudden, like, you know, usually when we'll watch a match, like, we'll be like, yeah, I could see them doing that because there's this and that. Like, Sean said, like, pretty much nothing. He was just like, wow, it's really over. Like, that was, like, nothing. Like, took the air out of Sean, had nothing to say about the match. Absolutely nothing. And I was like, yeah, pretty good. I kind of like the ending. And Sean's like, no, man. Nah, I don't get it. I don't see it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't appreciate it. But that's my take was it was a good match. First off, it was fun to watch. I think we all wanted the release, the nut. We wanted Cody to win. It felt like that had to, like, no other option was right but that one, and they didn't give it to us. Great match. Paul Heyman. I don't even remember him on the show, but our tribal chief was there. We acknowledge our tribal chief. Sean now acknowledges our tribal chief. Shem doesn't quite yet, but he will.
Shem is still trying to make MJF the tribal chief, but
MJF is the tribal chief, man.
He's Jewish.
Okay.
He can't be the tribal
Jewish
chief.
people can't have tribes?
Yeah, what's up with that?
It feels like he's trying to Kanye me, so I'm gonna let it go.
I'm just saying. Being the tribal chief is like being a daddy. It's a mindset. You know? And MJF is the tribal chief.
All I'm gonna say is we already have a Jewish king, so MJF can't be that either.
I never called MJF the Jewish king. We all know Goldberg is the Jewish king, and that I concede. You know, that I concede for sure.
It's damn true.
Goddamn right. Okay, all right.
A ding-a-ling in my hall. It's my daddy, Cody Rhodes. It's a tough loss, man. He just sat in the ring like devastated afterwards, like looking all sad boy, understandably. And then the next night do you want to jump to the next night on Raw where Triple H comes out after the sale and he's like, hey, we're not going anywhere. We're doing this. We're doing the same shit. And then they immediately just did the opposite of what they've been doing the past 6 months. They had Seth Rollins come out to his music and just say nothing, just orchestrate and then fuck off to the back. And
so he just walks out. Like, music starts, he just walks out and then just leaves.
Well, it was even worse than that. So he starts backstage with some interview that I don't even know what he said in the interview. I think he just started with his and then he said something, and then he was like, hit my music, and then the music hits, and then he strolls out to the ring. They go to commercial. They come back. The fans are still doing the fucking stupid chant thing, and then he just leaves. It's like a 20-minute endeavor that they did with absolutely no payoff. There was no point, no payoff. Like 20 minutes they did this.
True. We didn't start the next feud. We didn't say which direction he's going in, but we gave 10 fucking minutes at the end. At the end of the show. He couldn't talk, but 10 minutes at the end of the show for Brock Lesnar to give an uncomfortable, scary ass whooping to Cody. It's like we can't have Seth say anything, but we go. The burial of Cody continues.
Yeah, 10 minutes they had. So the main event. So the Raw starts out, and Roman and Paul Heyman are out there, and Cody's out there, and Cody wants his fair shot. And so Paul Heyman's like, you got to bring someone. You can have a tag match, but it's got to be you have to be tag partners with someone who fought at WrestleMania and can't fight for the title. And so Brock Lesnar's music hits. He comes out, and it seems like Cody and Brock are BFFs now. Like, look at this, it's crazy. And they kept hyping it up all night. We got the best tag match probably and the best in the history of Raw. They said it maybe 5 fucking times, those sons of bitches. And what they do, they had Cody Rhodes do his little introduction. He comes down from Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. fucking Cody Rhodes. and then Cody Rhodes is doing his I'm fucking Cody Rhodes thing, and then Brock Lesnar hits an F5 on him, and then once again, uncomfortably beats him up for 10 minutes. Goes full Brock Lesnar, starts chasing after WWE personnel, throwing chairs, puts Cody through the announcer's table. Typical. I mean, I love seeing Brock do that. I wish he would do that every week, but it's crazy when the guy who you just hyped up to be champion is getting buried as hard as possible the next night after a devastating loss.
Cody also took a sick F5 on the fucking steel steps, which I don't know if I've seen Brock do that in this run, because I don't know if anybody else wants to take that spot. It's just F5 me on some steel steps. It's who else is taking that?
It would be cool to get F5 by Lesnar. I don't think so on steel steps. That's your face. And Brock Lesnar is, I mean, from all accounts, I've heard he's a safe guy, but he's also, he also is very reckless. It seems like right now he's not giving a shit. I think he hurt some random staff member at Royal Rumble when he was doing his, throwing a hissy fit.
He's fucking Brock Lesnar. He's fucking scary. All right, I guess I'll give my WrestleMania take about Cody now. I guess we've reached the point where I need to talk about it. Brock Lesnar burying him was confusing for me and him, man, God, like you said, it was a fucking good match. The fucking night one of WrestleMania, I called a lot of it. Even me being very high, I was like, I know this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. It felt like they did everything quote unquote right night one. And even night two, like I think they still made a lot of the right calls. Bianca Belair won, Gunther won, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler won the tag team. Like the right calls, I feel like were made. And maybe that's me stroking my ego because I'm like, oh yeah, I called this. I think this is right, and it won. And then Cody fucking Rhodes. A great match with Roman Reigns. A great match. They milked the crowd was in it. They milked the start going slow. Then they started working around the ring. You have your run-ins with Solo, who then gets kicked out by the referee. You got the Usos coming in. You got Sammy and Kevin Owens coming to make the save. Like everything was playing perfectly. Sammy hit the Halula kick on Roman. Fucking, he got the stunner from Kevin Owens, and then Cody did what his dad's move and hit the bionic elbow into the fucking 2.5 crossroads. So I do the third one and put it away. And then fucking Paul Heyman gets on the ropes, distracts the referee for an unnatural amount of time for somebody who's just pointing. Like, he just got up there and yelled and point. He ain't like have a chair. He didn't throw. Like, Paul Heyman is too good of a wrestling mind for his distraction to be like, I'm just gonna get on the apron, and I'm just gonna point and yell, and that's gonna distract him for 5 minutes while Solo comes through the crowd and then fucking hits his spike on Cody. And then Roman he ran the ropes for a second and hit his spear, his super mega spear, and I think that's the moment I was watching with Joe, and I was like, after he hit that spear, I was like, wow, it's really over. Like, I just couldn't see it coming, because the whole story was played out so perfectly. Cody left, went to Japan, won the Ring of Honor, won championships in places, fucking bet on himself and his friends, and started another wrestling company, which is, the other big wrestling company in America, AEW. He does good there, but like always, like took himself out the title reign, comes back to WWE, beats Seth Rollins, gets hurt, but was like a warrior with his fucking purple black chest as he had a torn pec.
Oh, and Hell in a Cell.
Fucking Hell in a Cell. Comes back, win Royal Rumble. Doing great promos, trying to finish the story. Winning the belt for his daddy that his daddy never won. Gets to WrestleMania. Has friends to stop the Usos.
Loses.
Fucking loses. Like, it just makes no sense. And I think it's just because I was like, back in the day, like, Hulk Hogan would win is the good guy. Stone Cold would win is the good guy. John Cena would win is the good. Like, just WrestleMania has more happy endings than sad endings, mostly. And I was just expecting that to happen. But I forgot that this was the Triple H Memorial Show because he knew he was losing the job back to fucking Vince McMahon. So he was like, one time for the heels, I'm going to put them over one more time. Bad guys win. And I guess we got to acknowledge our tribal chief. 68 days now.
We're getting close to 1,000.
Getting close to. We sacrificed Cody's story for 1,000 now. I realized I was like, all right, I was in my feelings a little bit because I thought I had called the whole WrestleMania. And then I saw, the Monday After Raw, Cody came out. He was still over. Roman had huge heat. So I was like, okay, this is fine. And then Brock Lesnar happened. And I'm
Look
just
how
like,
fucked up you are right now.
I was like, I don't know. I just don't. It's not usually that I don't know what's happening in wrestling, like going forward, and I just don't know what's happening going forward. I'm guessing Roman's going to disappear for a bit, and Cody's going to fight Brock in Puerto Rico at Backlash, but
don't even Vince has got you fucked up.
Vince has got
him and his fucking mustache.
I keep trying to make logical decisions, but I gotta remember Vince has gotten this far without making logical decisions. So I'm going
out of his fucking mind. Doesn't like sneezing. A guy who gets angry at sneezing. That's who's running the show.
A guy who grew that mustache is running the show. Like, that's what we gotta remember.
He's a fucking maniac. I'm kind of here for it, but I'm also, I mean, because we have AEW, and let's jump over to AEW. And something that Shem can jump in on too, because Shem is a big AEW guy over WWE for sure. And last night was on Rampage or Dynamite. What am I talking like JR now?
Yeah.
Dynamite. It was MJF Day in Long Island, also known as fucking Bizarro World, with how the crowd reacted.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. I've only been watching AEW with you guys for what, 2 months maybe?
I think
it was leading up to the maybe 3. Yeah,
That's
2.5,
it?
3. It has not been very long. It has not been very long. And very quickly, I attached myself to MJF, the not Jewish king, but the Jewish tribal chief.
Oh,
he's the prince. Yeah, he's
Tribal
the prince.
chief, the prince.
Yeah, you have the Jewish king, and then you got the Jewish prince, and he's the Jewish prince.
wow.
So
Big shoes, big shoes.
I know I didn't even know why I became a fan of MJF, because I've only seen him wrestle twice.
I remember
I'm pretty
why.
sure it's when
Yeah, he called an audience fucking white trash, and you loved it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I can't. As a brown man, I was just like, hell yeah, yes, white man, you tell all those white trash individuals that they are white trash. You let them know.
Put them in their place. Do it for me.
Yeah, he's an ally. MJF is an ally, and I appreciate that. So ever since then, I've been a fan, and he is a hilarious heel. I think it was you, Joe, that had sent a video of him when they were in Texas. There was like a commercial break, and he's getting booed, and he's like, "Oh, keep booing me. I don't give a fuck. Like, we're not even on TV yet." You know, and they're like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, are you booing me because there's kids here?" He's like, "Well, maybe if we weren't in Texas, they would have been aborted like they should have been." And I was like, "This guy is amazing. This is the funniest man in the goddamn world, and he's doing a great job." And last night, MJF Day on AEW, they had an event on Long Island, and
Long Island.
he typically wears like lots of like black suits and gray suits and stuff like that. Yesterday, white suit. He was like the essence of purity, and he went full baby face while he was in Long Island. He did a musical number. He sang. He was dancing around. He got the key to Long Island.
Yeah, I was
he sang well.
He did not sing terrible. I was surprised.
It was great. That was one of the most entertaining things I've watched in weeks, for sure.
So yeah,
So- I don't know.
please.
I was just gonna say WWE is kind of whack to me. I watched that one Raw with you. I didn't even know when that was. It might have been after Royal Rumble, and I was like, "This is fucking boring. Like, I can't stomach this." And I watched the Royal Rumble, and that was pretty cool. But I don't know any of the people, and at least AEW I've watched pretty consistently on Wednesdays for the last like almost 3 months. And I know some of the people. Like, I find their stories way more interesting than anything on WWE. So watch out, Vince McMahon, because Tony Khan's coming for that stash.
So MJF, the biggest heel in AEW, he gets heat from the crowd, but they love him. They appreciate the guy, but they love booing him. And here he comes out to Long Island and is received so overwhelmingly positive by that crowd, where it just didn't make any fucking sense. And, then the crowd loves him. And then later in the show, we have Sammy Guevara coming out giving, like, the biggest babyface promo he's probably ever cut. Like, I work my ass off. I'm here. I'm staying in AEW. And people are fucking booing him. It was like he cut the biggest babyface promo trying to be like a company man, getting booed. Everything in Long Island last night is so fucked up. But I kind of liked it because it is Bizarro World. It's like they enter this fucking realm of like wrestling normalcy that's everywhere else but Long Island. And honestly, it's well deserved for Long Island to be a place of villains. So it kind of makes sense for what happened to have happened.
Yeah, no, I get you. It makes sense because we've seen it in the past. Like Bret Hart had that with a whole company when he was in fucking like at the end of his WWF run in 1997. He was anti-America and very pro-Canada. So, like, America hated him. He was shit. He was the worst guy in the world. Shawn Michaels was super over. And then they went to Canada for about like a month. And holy shit, he was the biggest baby. Like he's cutting the same heel promos there, and he was over. So like when MJF did it, it made so much sense because MJF last week in St. Louis put over Strong Island. He was like, "Yo," he's like, "You guys are fucking idiots. You backwards." He's like, "Things are fucking in the past here, but not like Strong Island." He was like, They're sophisticated, smart, and he went back and he got the fucking key to the city. He even got them to stop booing the politician for a second so he can get his key. You know how hard that is to get a town to not boo a politician they don't fuck with? This is like, that was very baby face. I don't even know how he did, but he fucking did it. And it was fantastic. And I can't wait till he loses the belt and turns face, because it's in there. He's going to turn face, and then he's going to leave.
There. Yeah, he has the capacity to do it. And I just really want to smoke a blunt with MJF. Like, I feel like that'd be a fun time.
I feel like we can get this done.
Ron.
This is our mission in life now, is to get Shim to and us. We're all going to smoke with him, but definitely Shim needs to smoke with the Jewish prince.
Of course. Of course.
Love him.
As somebody that went to college with a lot of musicians from Long Island, and some of them were Jewish, like I feel like I'd fit right in with MJF, you know?
Nice.
We love MJF here. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, almost as much as Mommy Scoggs. That's a different episode, though, for a different time.
Yeah, well, wait, whenever the next tourney is, which I'm sure is probably this weekend.
Probably tomorrow.
Who did AEW just sign? Jack White?
Jay White, come on, cuz. You can't.
Dun, 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 dun.
Sean White?
Jack Black.
God damn it. Wario movie did just drop, so I'm just saying. Jack Black could have made an appearance. And not a fucking 10. No, I thought the big fucking announcement from Tony Khan was going to be video game related, of the never ending fucking always push back game that just will never come out. It's not going to come. So I just stopped.
It's over.
Like that. Yeah. It's going to be 3 years before that game comes out. That roster is going to have like 4 people who are still in the roster at that point. It's going to be crazy. But
someone's going to have a career-ending injury and be in that game still.
For real. Dave Bryan kind of talked about last night where he was like, I was home with my kids and brought out a screwdriver. So let's hope he doesn't go full bad Chris.
he's teetering. He's going heel, so he's not too far away from full-on bad Chris. Daniel Bryanson, by the way, is heel. I kind of like. I'm kind of here for bad Daniel Bryanson. I'm kind of here for it.
We love a bad vegan. They're all bad, so it works out for us. It works out.
I didn't realize he was vegan. That's why he lost to MJF.
Yep.
True.
Wow. So let's move on to something a little bit less dramatic, and I don't even know. That's a terrible segue. 0 out of. Let's rate this. How was that segue out of 5?
0 out of 7.
It was absolutely 2 Ben Simmons.
2 Ben.
Ooh, wow.
That means for a slight portion, it was decent.
That means you don't even have a back. Like that's crazy.
Baseball started up. We're happy. We're loving the new baseball rules here. Games are getting over in under 3 hours. Yankee games are getting over in less than 10 hours. Guys like Manny Machado are getting kicked out of games for the exact reason why they made the rules. Like, dude, like, yes, you are why they had to make this fucking rule, because you couldn't fucking help it with the touching of the gloves. Although, I will say, I think one guy in every lineup, if you guys aren't aware, baseball now is a pitch clock. You have 15 seconds in between each pitch. The batter must be in the batter's box.
That's only if there's no people on base, though. If there's people
20.
on base, you got 20 seconds.
Okay, thank you for the caveat there.
Yep.
But the batter must be, so I don't know what it is with guys on base, but if no one on base, the batter must be looking at the pitcher, ready to go with 8 seconds on the pitch clock. Otherwise, it's an automatic strike. If the pitcher goes beyond the pitch clock, it's an automatic ball. This was instated in baseball because guys can't control themselves and they have to step out even after. And this is something like, even my dad would always be like, guys like would take a ball and then step out and adjust their gloves. Like, you didn't even swing. What do you have to adjust? You were just good a minute ago. So because of the it's not Tourette's, the OCD that baseball players have, they had to come in there and tell them to stop faking their OCD and just get to playing baseball. I'm all here for the rule change. It's incredible. Shem, I know you have a special report on one of baseball's brightest stars that are up and coming. If you want to indulge.
Yes, sir. Hold on here. So the other day, I was on the interwebs and I can't remember what spurred it, but we were looking up athletes that rap. I know we listen to a lot of Shaq. We listen to some Kobe. We listen to some Damian Lillard, right? I believe is his name.
Dame Dollar.
I don't watch a lot of basketball, so that's why I'm like I can't remember his name, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But as we were going through this,
Antonio Brown, don't forget him.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh, that's right. It was Le'Veon Bell. It was Le'Veon Bell that started it all. That's right. Because I wanted to show you guys that song "Free at Last" from his album "Life's a Gamble." Oh my God. Yes. It's all coming back to me now. And as we were looking at this article, there's a baseball player that plays for the Minnesota Twins. And his name is Nick Gordon, but he goes by the name G Cinco. And, he has a couple of songs that I've only been able to find on YouTube. Nothing's been posted since 2017, but he's got a song called I'm the Man and I Could Do It All. And I know we're only 5 games into the season right now, but he's got a negative .3 WAR, and his batting average is .071.
That's good.
So he's got a 71 batting average. Yeah.
He's the best.
In his defense, he said he could do it all. He didn't say well.
That's
He
true.
can just do it all.
That's true.
He
That's
can do
true.
it all.
And he's like, I'm the man. It's like, but I guess the man at he plays better baseball than I can. I can't shit on him too much. So this season,
He only has a couple more hits than you this year.
Like one.
one hit.
He's got one
as
more
of
hit than you this year.
Just a couple days ago, we had the same amount of hits in a Major League Baseball game. So, check in later and just throughout the season here at Sports Casual. I will be giving pretty regular Nick Gordon updates. We're going to see how G Cinco's doing this year. I mean, his stats, I got Baseball Reference open right now. He's got a career 1.3 WAR, career batting average of 257, 13 home runs, so he doesn't hit for power. But 257 isn't terrible. I imagine he'll probably turn it around at some point this season.
You want him to.
Yeah, of course I want him to. He's the man, though, and he can do it all. So, and he's only been playing since 2021. So this is his 3rd season with the Twinkies. But when was he drafted? First round. He was the 5th round pick in the 2014
Fifth
June
overall
amateur
pick.
draft. Yeah, in the June amateur draft. He was drafted right out of high school. So I don't know if that's the actual draft or what, but here he is, 27 years old.
I believe that is.
Playing-
Yeah, because there's the Rule 5 draft and the amateur draft.
Well, the Rule 5 draft doesn't exist anymore, right?
Not to my knowledge. I believe it still does. Unless they
thought it was
got rid
part
of it
of
this
this-
year.
Yeah, I thought it was part of the bargaining agreement, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that,
It's
internet.
just, maybe.
Who knows, man?
Too many rules. No one knows what the fucking Rule 5 draft is.
No, but that's how we got Nestor Cortez back, the Yankees. He kept leaving because of the Rule 5 draft, and the Yankees were like, well, nobody wants you, so I guess we'll take you back.
Speaking of the Yankees, let's jump into it. The Yankees are 3-2 on the early season. 3-2, 4-2. 3-2, 4-2,
4-2.
4-2.
3-2?
4-2.
4-2.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
They look good so far. Not much to really talk about aside from Gleyber Torres telling everyone who wanted him traded to shut the fuck up and sit down.
Gleyber Torres is like, I'm Gleyber Torres, right? And all of his haters are this imaginary ass, and he's just like, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's what he's doing right now.
He's
That's
hitting
what
for
he's doing. He's just eating all
power.
their asses.
He's hitting for speed. Well, he's not hitting for speed. He's stealing bases. He's playing really well, and he's taking the ball the other way. That's where we wanted to see Gleyber. Gleyber right now is the Yankees MVP. Aaron Judge is batting like 400 or something right now. He's
Gleyber Torres, last I checked, was batting 421, and they didn't play today, so Gleyber Torres, I think, was batting 421.
Gleyber.
And yeah, oh, that's right, Gleyber. Yeah, he's batting 421 right now with a .7 WAR, and Judge.
0.7 WAR in like a week of baseball.
Yeah, Judge has .3 of WAR in about a week of baseball. And he's batting 348. So
The shift has worked. Getting rid of the shift has been very nice. Torres is
I
getting
have
singles
a
up the
theory
middle.
that the balls are juiced again as well, but
Yeah.
don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure.
Oh, you can quote
You
me.
know.
Quote Joe.
Quote me. Look at that. Look at that home run hit by J-Rod the other day. It went way too far. It jumped off the bat so fast that's what the juice balls of 2020 look like.
I'm proud they're back.
2019 too, yeah. Yeah, I think they're back.
They're back and better than ever. Sean, you're a Cardinals fan.
Oh, it's early in the season, So I'm not really tripping off the records. All I know is next up we have the Milwaukee Brewers, who are our routine lapdogs. They are a team that I always feel comfortable facing because I know in a moment's notice that them, just like their fans, will be disappointed. And it's always a fun time. Well, they had like a fucking 10-game lead at some point last year. I think it was a 10-game lead going into like August. I may be exaggerating, but I was a part. I was a part of
Not
that
too far
subreddit.
off.
I was part of that subreddit at the end of last year, and just watching the confidence of their fucking fans start at it was at a fucking 1,000. They were riding high. You would have thought they were like the 1927 Yankees fans. Like they knew they had this ring. They was like, it's over. We're a fucking dynasty, and then just watch them fall down until about 3 games before the end of the year, and they was like, man, you know what? We had a good ride. We got some young players in the minors who will be fucking good in the future. Like they went from there winning the championship to being like, it's not that bad that we just missed the playoffs.
Yeah,
We added an extra playoff spot, and they still missed. And they were like, you know what? It's fine. It's okay. We don't need to make the play. What's the playoffs for? Who is it for? Apparently not them.
That is the most sane fan group because I think Mets fans are already burning down Citi Field with Scherzer going down and with them just playing
Verlander.
It's the same.
They're both gonna go down at some point.
Wait a second. Scherzer gave up like back-to-back home runs the other day in his start. He's not doing too hot either.
Yeah.
So the Mets are, yeah. But, you got to give it up to the Milwaukee Brewers fans for being sane, but also look at them with shame because how could you sit there and just accept that fate?
Yeah. At least the Pittsburgh Pirates fans have the decency to not exist.
Yeah, they have a beautiful ballpark right on a river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ownership group don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, they're cool. They're just having a nice ballpark. No need for fans. Fans will just trash the place. All right,
but what we need to talk about is our actual tribal chief. I'm letting y'all buy in the stock now. Y'all can come on the bandwagon because Jordan motherfucking Walker
with his negative .1 WAR
is the future tribal chief. Shim, you saw him in the fucking preseason, and I know that you were impressed. You know this man's up. He's next.
What I said when I saw Jordan Walker play in preseason was, man, Jordan Walker's going to make a great Yankee when he's 35 years old, okay? That doesn't mean he's going to be great. I'm just saying in 15 years, he's going to be a great Yankee.
You say Yankees sign great players past their prime. Mm-hmm. Which means that he's going to be that fucking guy. You know it. I know it. Y'all can buy... Right now, I'm waiting for his jersey to hit certain websites so I can go ahead and buy it, but it ain't there yet. But when it gets there, just know I'll be rocking his jersey for a solid decade.
I gotta buy that jersey.
You gotta buy that jersey, Joe.
But you gotta buy that jersey.
Jordan Walker, future GOAT.
I will say for rookies, Jordan Walker and Anthony Volpe both have the same WAR right now. Again, it's like fucking 5 or 6 games into the season. But Jordan Walker's playing way better than Anthony Volpe. 24 at-bats, 8 hits, 1 home run. He's driven in 5 RBI, 1 stolen base, and 1 run. And then Volpe, 17 at-bats, 3 hits. So he's only batting 176. 2 runs scored, which is crazy because he only got 3 hits. 3 stolen bases, and yeah, that's about it. So Jordan Walker is the rookie right now. He's that guy.
Jordan Walker is that man. He's that guy. He's the fucking future.
Oh my God, he's 6'6".
Ah, Jesus Christ. Big dude, right fielder, right?
Oh yeah.
And he's very young. Him and Volpe, I don't know how old Volpe
20.
is. Right?
Jordan Walker is 20 years old. His birthday is next month, May 22nd. And Anthony Volpe is 21. His birthday is April 28th.
I want to send Jordan Walker a fucking birthday present.
Send him some booze.
Yeah, he can fucking drink. It's crazy. I can send him some Budweiser.
Oh my God, he's a minor. I didn't even think of that.
But he's not a
dude's
minor.
A minor.
He's
not an adult. He's not a real adult.
Yeah, he can't drink yet legally, Shim, but he's not a minor.
I mean, if you're gonna,
I'm 30. To me, he's a minor. It's like he's just a boy. Holy shit! And he's getting paid probably way more money than I am. Let's find out.
League minimum $700,000.
Oh, he's getting paid way more money than I am, and I'm 10 years older than him. Damn.
You should learn to hit a baseball, Shim.
Damn, I blame my mom for not letting me fucking play the Little League. That's her fault.
Let's switch gears from childhood trauma
No! No! I will process this right now.
to adulthood trauma. The Dallas Mavericks are outsiders looking into a playoff system where pretty much every team makes the postseason.
Okay, I will start it off for you. The Dallas Mavericks has Luka Doncic, who was the preseason MVP favorite to win the championship. And at the trade deadline, they traded for Kyrie Irving, who's been a notorious headache for every team pretty much since he got into the NBA.
Yeah, it's fair.
Cleveland, he got upset. He didn't want to play with LeBron. He wanted to be the man. He left there after they won a fucking championship. Went to Boston. Boston had a young team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals when Kyrie was hurt. Kyrie comes back next season. It's a headache. Was pretty much getting into it with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and they get eliminated in the second round. I think they got swept that year. And then they go to the finals pretty much a year and a half after he fucking leaves. He goes to New Jersey. The team, oh my bad, Brooklyn. I apologize.
In my heart, they're still the New Jersey Nets. I don't give a shit.
Yes, he went to the fucking Nets with Kevin Durant. They end up getting James Harden. They have a team on paper that's supposed to win multiple rings.
Their Miami Heat moment. Not one, not two.
Not none. Like, they won a single playoff round in the 4-year period of Kyrie and Kevin Durant being there. Let's sink that in. Other team, they won one more playoff round than the New York Knicks.
The legends. The legends of New York, because they don't actually exist in modern era.
Kyrie Irving refused to get vaccinated. He would just disappear. First of all, he didn't respect Steve Nash as his coach, which is the funniest shit ever. Because Steve Nash is one of our friends' favorite players of all time, basically.
MVP.
Literally.
MVP.
Well, the fans know Mike. The fans know who Mike is.
The fan knows who Mike's is. Kyrie Irving told fucking Steve Nash when he was at his house, where are Kobe's MVP trophies?
Oh, that's so fucked.
Oh my god. But yeah, took random games off because he just didn't feel like playing. Like, he was the whole sharing of certain movies that are very, very anti-Semitic that he didn't even fucking read or watch. He just literally just shared it because he liked the title. And
He's a boomer.
Didn't know he really was a boomer. He didn't know why people were upset, which is crazy to me. So the Nets are like, we're not going to sign you to a max, because even after all that, Kyrie Irving thought he deserved a 4-year max contract. And they said, no, not going to happen. We'll probably sign you to a 1 or a 2-year deal. He says, trade me. The Nets were happy as fuck. They traded him up. Kevin Durant said, trade me this offseason. They was like, fuck that.
You're Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, we're holding on as long as possible. And then they were like, Kyrie said, trade me. Done in 2 days. They fucking traded him to Dallas Mavericks, who had the preseason MVP pick, who were in the 4th spot in the West.
When they got him?
They were in the 4th spot when they got him.
Oh my god, I didn't realize that. And how
Wow.
They were on pace to probably were going to catch number 3 at that point. But Mark Cuban wanted to make a splash. He was like, if I get Kyrie Irving with Luka Doncic, no one will be able to stop my offense. And he was kind of
Except for Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving got in the way.
No, their offense is fucking incredible. The problem is their defense. They stop nobody. They score 120 points a game. They just give up 135.
That's crazy to me that you can lose games scoring 120 points. That's like unheard of.
Bro, like, it's really funny. Like, the Steve Nash, like, Phoenix Suns teams that were like the famous like 7 seconds or less team, right? They were like, they're the fastest team in the NBA, the highest scoring team in the NBA. Right now, if we took those same numbers and put them in the NBA, they would be last in offense. The NBA has come crazy far in like a 10-12 year period. But Kyrie fucking Irving and Luka Doncic, 2 of the 5 most skilled NBA offensive players in the league right now, are the 11th seed, are looking out when 20 of 30 teams make some type of postseason. They are looking on the outside at this very moment.
Didn't Doncic, didn't he say he's not having fun? Isn't he Ben Simmonsing right now?
Luka
Pretty
Doncic
sure, yeah.
is not having a fun time.
He's Ben Simmonsing it.
Has not signed his new contract yet. So like it's a chance that he just says trade me, which is very strong in the NBA world if a star says it. And also, he's suing his mom. Like, Luka Doncic's life is in shambles. Like, he's suing his mom right now. He's
suing his mom?
He's not having fun playing basketball.
Wait a second. What is he suing his mom for?
Okay, his mom, who is objectively very hot. Like, I know that means nothing to none of this, but she's very hot. But he's suing his mom because apparently she, she was like his manager or something like that, and agreed to some
star.
Shit. Yeah, type of thing.
Good for her.
He's playing professional basketball like in Spain when he was 16. So like he's been a pro for about 7 years now in his defense. But goddamn, like I was like, he's suing his mom. He's not having fun playing basketball. He says he missed the point guard that Mark Cuban let go to the Knicks. Like, you saw Luka Doncic's mom. I just saw that face.
I did.
Pull her up. Let's see her. I want to see her.
She's pretty hot.
Hot. I was like, all right.
Yeah. You know, she's a Slovak's next top model. I can see it happening, but yeah. So he's not having fun.
He's got to deal with Kyrie being like, "Hey, you want to borrow some of these DVDs?" Like, no, stop.
It's like, have you ever watched? Oh my god! But yes. So Luka Doncic not having a great time. He may pull a Ben Simmons, who apparently has back problems after not playing basketball for about 2 months.
49. Sorry.
No, you're. Well, share her in the group chat. Let's.
All I'm saying is,
come on, it's in the group chat. I can't see that.
Google.
She's a baddie. But yeah, so for this NBA section, just remember, Ben Simmons, no matter how bad you're doing in life, how worthless you think you are, this man gets paid to play basketball, refuses to, and makes over $37 million a year. So,
God, he's the king. He's the
fucking king, and that's why the Sam Bradford Award is now the Ben Simmons Award.
He really stole it. He stole it from Ben Simmons stole that award from a guy who was, and Sam Bradford, very deserving of having the award named after him for getting 2 bags after doing fuck all in the NFL. And here comes Ben Simmons like, oh yeah, I'll get 1 bag.
And I took that personally.
Oh man.
All right, well, let's move on. We got the next subject here, the last sports subject we're going to talk about today. We have the UFC coming. We actually have a huge pay-per-view coming up this week. Can't wait.
I am very excited for this one. So I will admit, I've gotten a little bit out of, the UFC during the pandemic days. I was watching UFC every single weekend because it was the only thing on TV. Now I've only been watching the pay-per-views, and that's unfortunate, but hey, this is gonna be a good card. It is Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya 2. They just fought a couple months ago, and Izzy was winning the first fight. You know, he definitely won 3 rounds at least. You could argue he maybe won 4.
Was that the fight in July?
No, they didn't fight in July. Did they fight in July? No, November. They fought in November. And Izzy was winning the fight, 5th round. All of a sudden, Alex Pereira just fucking lays it on him. And it was a TKO. And Izzy, and for those of you that don't know, the uninitiated, Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya have fought 2 other times back when they were both professional kickboxers. And Pereira won both of those. Like, he won by decision the first time, and then he knocked out Izzy the second time that they fought. And the only reason why Alex Pereira became a UFC fighter is because when, not even UFC, just MMA in general, when Izzy first got into the UFC, he was talking shit. He's like, oh yeah, like I was knocked out once by this guy, but he's nothing. Like, this guy's a scrub, essentially. And he's like, and someday, his most famous moment's going to be, like 10 years from now when he's sitting at a bar telling somebody, I knocked that guy out when I saw him on TV. Like, that's going to be his greatest moment, is being able to tell people he knocked me out when he's just a nobody. Ooh. And Alex Pereira was like, and I took that personally. And he trained MMA, and now here he is at a record of 7-1 took Izzy's title and is now defending against it, defending his title for the first time against the man that he just took it from, and it's hilarious. Like, and Alex Bejeda is like, we don't have a rivalry, but like this dude is talking shit, so I'm just gonna knock him out again. Like,
I gotta put this motherfucker in his place.
Like,
I'm gonna do some work.
I wouldn't be surprised if he beats Izzy again. I wouldn't be surprised if he moves up a weight class, because when he was at Glory Kickboxing, he was the middleweight champ, which is the 185-pound division, and the light heavyweight champ, which is up to 205 pounds. So right now, this is for the middleweight championship in the UFC, so at 185 pounds. So I could totally see him moving up and fighting at 205, because when he was in kickboxing, Alex Bejeda, he was like defending both of his belts simultaneously. So like he would do a fight defending his belt at 205, then his next fight would be at 185, then back to 205. So he was like very active when he was kickboxing, and he was like a true double champ. Yeah, he was a true double champ.
He's looking to kill people. He's like, I didn't kill him in this week. I got to go back out there. I got to fucking keep trying to kill people, I guess.
Dude, it's crazy. He's massive. This says that he's only 6'4", but like he's gonna weigh in this weekend at most 185 pounds. But walking around, this dude is like 240 pounds. Like he starts cutting weight to get down to 185 like 3 weeks before he actually has to start cutting weight.
Oh my god! Like, well, because he's cutting a whole person off of him.
Yeah, man, I know. This small child. But the rest of this main card is fucking stacked. You know, the main card on the pay-per-view opens up with this kid. He's 18 years old, Raul Rosas Jr. He's from Mexico. He's 7-0. He was on Dana White's Contender Series. When he was on the Contender Series, he was 17 years old and needed permission from his parents to be able to fucking be on there because he wasn't legally an adult. So this is his second fight in the UFC. He's fighting some guy named Christian Rodriguez. Next up on the main card, you got fucking Kevin Holland, who's one of the funniest guys on a microphone.
Hope he wins.
Dude, he's so fucking funny. I love Kevin Holland. And he's a real-life Batman, so he's fighting some guy, Santiago Ponzinibbio. I might have butchered that. I apologize. But Kevin Holland, he's hilarious. He just loves talking shit when he's in fights. And as I said, he's like a real life Batman. He stopped a gunman in a fucking restaurant once. Some guy got his car stolen, and Kevin Holland chased down the car and like ripped the guy out of it. Like it's crazy. Kevin Holland's just insane.
There was like a couple months stretch where he just kept getting himself like into like things would happen, and Kevin Holland
every couple of months for a year. Kevin Holland was like, "Oh yeah, like this thing happened, and I was there, and I just beat the shit out of someone and stopped it." Like, you got Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. The co-main event, though, this should be an exciting fight. Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal.
My boy,
Jorge
Masvidal, gang bred,
dude. This should be fun. He's with Masvidal. He's been saying recently that if he loses his fight, he might retire.
Is it game bred or gang bred? Am I getting that wrong?
Game, yeah, video games. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here I am saying I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah. Nope. But there's a couple of other fights that seem interesting on this. Like when you look at the prelims, you got Michelle Waterson, the karate hottie. She hasn't fought in a minute. So she's fighting someone, Luina Pinheiro, is maybe how you pronounce that. Some of these people I don't know. The first fight of the night, though, Sam Hughes. She's 7-5 going against this woman, Jacqueline Amorim, and who's 6-0. But Sam Hughes, I remember her UFC debut because she got poked in the eye. Ugh. And and then the fight had to be canceled. Like when I saw the name, I was like, "Oh, Sam Hughes!" Like that's the chick who got her eye poked in her UFC debut, and like the doctor was like, "You literally can't see anything. You just told me you couldn't see anything. I have to stop the fight." So she does not have a great record in the UFC, but who knows? Maybe she'll be on the upswing pretty soon. So yeah, UFC 287. I'm sure the UFC shills could tell you where to find John Anik. I'm sure John Anik can tell you where to find all this.
How to buy P3.
How to buy P3 and how to drink Modelo.
All right, so let's mosey on over. Let's move on to the awards of the night. We have the award for who had the best sports weekend. Shem, do you want to lead us off with who do you think had the best sports weekend?
Yeah, the person that had the best sports weekend.
Week. Sorry.
In this case, week, because we're at the weekend again. MJF, he got to go back home to Strong Island. He got to be a babyface for the first time probably ever in his career. He sang for the crowd. He got a politician to stop getting booed for at least a couple of seconds. What did Jordan Walker do this week? He probably got tons of politicians booed at.
A home run.
MJF.
All right, Sean.
MJF could hit a home run.
Sean, who did you have as having the best sports week?
All right, I didn't want to hate on MJF. He makes me hate on MJF by bringing up our future tribal chief. But the real person who had the... First of all, MJF also got punched in his face by somebody named Jungle Boy, which Jordan Walker did not. So I'm just saying... Okay. But I'm going to say the person of the week is Ben Simmons. Again, he made millions of dollars. He did not go to a practice. He did not fucking play in the game. He did not travel with the team. He made meals, and all he probably did was play probably fucking NBA 2K. You think he plays NBA
traffic?
Do you think he played with himself? He'd be like, yeah.
He goes. He doesn't even like try to make himself better. He just goes and edits the stats of the guys. He's like, I'm making my shooting's at least a 93.
So, I'm going to get into Ben Simmons. 'Cause I think he deserved it. He made a bunch of money. But if you say an active people, I'm going to say Kyrie Irving because he's saying he having a fun time playing the game. You know, his team might not be winning, but he said he enjoys the process and he's having a fun time playing. So, I'm going to go Kyrie Irving.
So you put me in a tough position. Who do I think? I think you guys, it's tough to pick who had a better week. I'm going to break here and
Brock Lesnar?
I'm going to say Tony Khan. Tony Khan had the best week, had the best sports week. He got to watch WWE get buried. He got to give props to Cody yesterday, and people and all of Reddit was thanking Tony Khan for just not being Vince McMahon.
But how much money did Vince McMahon make in those? Let's be real.
He probably made like $300 million over the weekend.
And then to sell the company.
Yeah.
Afterwards, not even just WrestleMania. Like he came out with a cool bill at least.
Yeah, a cool. You think? I mean, possibly.
If it sold for $9 billion, I know he owned like
his majority owner. What, like 34%, something like that.
Yeah, him making a bill is probably not crazy.
There's nothing to him because you already have a bill. Like, what do you need another bill for? What do you need? There's nothing you could use for that other bill.
And they gave him the job of and he got the Dana White deal of being like, hey, you can still run this. He's number 2 in the company.
Unbelievable. He made out like a bandit.
He fucking made out fucking perfect.
So it sounds like you've amended your choice to Vince McMahon as having the best sports week, and I kind of have to agree with you now.
Yeah, John, I think you're right.
Cool bill. Yeah.
Cool bill.
All right. The Ben Simmons Award. I mean, I think I got to give it to Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons is still hustling.
He's the fucking thief of everything. Like, no one makes money doing less than Ben Simmons.
That's not true. Counterpoint here. Vince McMahon, what did he do this weekend? Probably not a whole lot.
No, he did. No, he can't. That's the problem. Is they're trying to get him to do Ben Simmons stuff and just pay him to not exist.
He won't.
They got this motherfucker wearing a headset like this in the back, like saying, no. Make sure you pin and then that and then come back here and talk to me. Like, Vince is a fucking psycho.
Commentary is in shambles that he's back.
Michael Cole collapse imminent. So I mean, the Ben Simmons, and let's make a note here. We don't dislike Ben Simmons, and we don't disagree with what Ben Simmons is doing.
Ben Simmons is a dark horse candidate for MVP next season. If he didn't get hurt this year with his back again, he would have been this season. But next season for sure, dark horse MVP candidate. You heard it here first.
All right, first of all, he was already out of the rotation. His coach does not like him, and his coach will still be there next year. So Ben Simmons, don't take those odds, fans.
Summer League.
He may be Summer League MVP. You're right. If he goes back,
strong Summer League,
maybe Rookie of the Year. But yeah, we fuck with Ben Simmons. He's my idol. I want to be like him. Everyone wants to make a shit ton of money doing nothing. And
they really need to remake the movie like Mike, but make it like Ben. You know,
just like ordering Chipotle from home and getting it delivered.
Just direct deposits hitting. You're not doing anything. Like, damn, this is great.
Let me order a sandwich from Publix and get it delivered to me. Let's move on to our final award of the night, the Tribal Chief Award. And this award goes out to who we recognize and acknowledge as our tribal chiefs. Sean, would you like to lead off?
All right, I'm gonna start and end because I got two tribal chiefs, and I will refuse for you to not let me have two tribal chiefs because you are a white man and you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah,
No,
fuck
circle
you, bro.
back. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Start with your first one.
We got the first one, who is the up and coming, the future god. Get his jersey. It
Anthony
is my
Volpe?
man, Jordan
Josh
motherfucking
Donaldson.
Walker.
Oh.
You see how I didn't sell either one of y'all? It's Jordan Walker. He gets the first one because he's the future. He's coming. I want to let y'all know now. Get ready. Get ready because it's going to be a long decade. So that's my first one. Go ahead. Go. Who wants to go
Shem,
next?
go ahead. Go next.
Who I see as my tribal chief?
Who is the tribal chief of the week?
The tribal chief
Who
of
do
the
you
week.
acknowledge?
I think I would probably acknowledge Gleyber Torres as my tribal chief. You know, batting 421, he's so close to perfection. He just needs to miss a hit somewhere. You know, balance it out. So close to perfection.
Love
you
it.
know, that's it.
I'm here for it. My tribal chief is who I already acknowledge as my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Almost Mr. 1000 here for his reign here. I acknowledge my tribal chief. I respect my tribal chief. Look at the greatness that our tribal chief has brought to us. Look at all this conversation that is sparked because of our tribal chief. I think we need to acknowledge him, and I acknowledge our tribal chief. Thank you, Roman Reigns. Sean, give your whoever is not really the tribal chief.
First of all, the real tribal chief of the week is the free agent that is going to sign our Jewish king, Goldberg. I can't wait till he makes his debut in fucking AEW and Tony Khan gives him probably about $1 billion to show up. So, Goldberg, we here for you. Can't wait for your retirement match. Go Jewish king.
Jewish Kings.
Well, you heard it here first. I think that's not a bad pick, although Roman Reigns is the correct pick. That'll do it for episode 001 of the new format. We'll make a new episode promptly in 7 months.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's what we do.
All right. Bye.
Bye.